When should you start with intermittent fasting on a keto diet, which can help you maximize your results? What are the ways of checking whether you are eligible for intermittent fasting on keto? And what is your roadmap? Stay tuned till the end to know more. Hi, welcome to this video. This video has 3 simple chapters. One, introduction to intermittent fasting. Second one, your roadmap to know whether you are eligible for intermittent fasting. And please understand, I am going to speak from my personal opinions and my personal experience. You may have to find a different way of adapting to intermittent fasting and keto. Third thing is conclusion. I'm sorry for giving a disclaimer in the second point because it's really important for people to understand that this is a video which is only for educational purpose. You will have to still find what recipe works for you, what pattern works for you. With this, I would also appeal that you should subscribe to the channel because that is going to be really keto-licious. You can also fast and subscribe to the channel. So click on the button really fast and press the bell icon to know more about intermittent fasting and keto and other videos as well. Jumping directly to the topic, number 1, introduction to intermittent fasting. A popular one, which is 16:8, is really popular as intermittent fasting. Almost everybody knows about what is intermittent fasting, but for someone who is new to this term, intermittent fasting is a decision which you make beforehand that you're going to eat only for specific hours or on specific days, and the rest of the time you are going to simply fast. In other words, also this is used as a tool. Some of the blogs also call it as a diet. There is nothing diet about it because you're not changing any food groups as such. You can include intermittent fasting with a low carb diet, a keto diet. You can also include it with your normal junk food diet as well and try to reap some benefits out of it. Now, intermittent fasting has popularity about 16:8, which is 16 hours of fasting and 8 hours of eating. You can also fast for 18 hours and 6 hours of eating periods of what you can shuffle with. There are different ways to it. There are different, intermittent fasting has different sizes and shapes, and as well as they have different notions as well, whether you should do it, you should not do it. We'll understand a step-by-step process for you if you're on a ketogenic diet. Do you need intermittent fasting right now or do you not need it right now? Now, these step-by-step process, they have 4 tick boxes. So one is which is a step 1 and then there is a step 2. If you qualify for all these 4, then intermittent fasting is your cup of tea. Please understand, this is purely my personal opinion. This is my experience which I'm putting across. I may be completely wrong or I may be not the person who is going to help you with intermittent fasting and keto, but I strongly believe that this chapter, which is the second chapter of step-by-step process, will change your perspective towards intermittent fasting. So we'll come to point number 1, keto journey timeline. Now this is a timeline of your entire keto journey, that where you are right now on keto. We all know when we adapt to keto from a normal diet, body goes through a lot of stress. Not all the stress is good stress or bad stress. Yes, this is initially bad and then it is good stress for the body to shift to a healthier lifestyle. Starting with intermittent fasting immediately makes absolutely no sense according to me, because I simply believe that your body has a while to shift to keto, and then you should use intermittent fasting as a tool because it's just a pattern of eating. You're just deciding that you're going to eat in these many hours in a day. So the most popular one, 16:8, is what we are referring to. In a keto journey tool, if you have completed 2 weeks or 3 weeks of keto, you are keto adapted. You have got into ketosis. But to get fat adapted, it takes at least 8 to 12 weeks. Fat adapted means that your body uses existing fat or dietary fat as a fuel source and produces ketones from them. My strong recommendation is that if you are not fat adapted, you should not start with intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is a great tool for you. It's a great way of cutting down certain calories, developing some discipline. Wait for it and complete at least your fat adapted phase. Point number 2, stagnation. So you have already been on keto for 12 weeks and you're fat adapted, which is checking point number 1. Now, second point, that you're stagnated. You're stagnated for at least 3 weeks. 3 weeks of no measurement movement, no weight movement, not even a single pound. That is how you should be stagnated, and then you should apply intermittent fasting. You should wait for the body to get accustomed to whatever you are applying right now, and then you should plan what is going to be your next routine, what is your next change. Before that, if you're getting stagnated, changing your patterns, changing your ratios and everything is secondary. But if you're stagnated for 3 weeks on your body measurement and body weight, then only you should start with intermittent fasting, not before, because it's too early for you to apply it. Point number 3, what is your goal? Your goal may be about fat loss, it could be about diabetes, insulin resistance, or you may adapt to keto as a lifestyle. You may adapt to keto for any other medical reason. For medical reasons, yes, intermittent fasting has to be done under a professional's guidance, but when you want to lose fat, still you should not do intermittent fasting immediately. The first basic idea is that if your goal is fat loss, change your patterns and ratios on your keto diet, change your protein fat ratios, change your timings of eatings, and as well as cut down on certain meals and then come to intermittent fasting, or at least try to cut down on snacks and then start with intermittent fasting, because what is your goal matters the most. If you have a wedding in the next 3 weeks, you would want to include intermittent fasting to maximize your results. But when you're done with that wedding, again get back to keto and don't immediately start with intermittent fasting again. There's also a way of reverse intermittent fasting, which is about starting and increasing your eating period gradually and slowly. But it is important for you to be very clear about your goals. Do not apply to intermittent fasting for a longer period of time. Anything above 90 days is not what I recommend. Neither I practice myself. It is great to cycle in and out of intermittent fasting and cycle in and out of keto, which is about planning your cheat meals, planning your days when you're going to eat normally. There are going to be relaxed days also in the single month which you would want to be on keto, that you're calculating your food but you're not worrying about eating hours. Point number 4, which is general factors. So if your timeline is 8 to 12 weeks that you're fat adapted and you are stagnated on keto for 3 weeks at least, that your body measurements and weight is not moving, your goal is fat loss, you have tried everything on keto in changing your ratios, your water intake is proper, you are sleeping well, you're taking up basic fundamentals of keto, then just simply answer your general factors, that do you have any kind of professional commitment or personal commitment in the coming days? Would you be able to manage your intermittent fasting right now? Secondly, if you have any kind of disordered ways of eating, do you have any eating disorders like bulimia? Do you have some really bad relationship with food? Are you an extremist? Then yes, you should apply intermittent fasting because you will be much more disciplined in this routine. And why do you want to be more disciplined? That should be your answer, which are going to be your general factors. So all these factors about your eating disorders, your general commitment, as well as your extremism towards the diet, how disciplined are you, where are you on your discipline scale, is what you'll get to know during the journey. I would strongly believe that you should consider these 4 phases to understand if you are going to apply intermittent fasting with keto. It's a great tool to apply. It helps you to get enough results. It is time and again proved in different articles, as well as I've seen it myself, but it is not necessary for everybody to apply intermittent fasting in their fat loss journey. So this step-by-step 4 guide is what I strongly believe you should tick mark everything about it, that if you are fat adapted, if you're stagnated for a long period of time, if your goal is fat loss and you've tried other patterns as well, they have not worked for you, and you don't have any professional and personal commitment, your general factors are absolutely in place, you're ready to develop that discipline, keto and intermittent fasting can really help you. You can maximize your results, because the idea is to appreciate your efforts and as well as appreciate your planning rather than just the outcome about how many kgs did you lose. So if you find this useful, comment below in the comment section, share this with your friends, like the video, subscribe to the channel, press the bell icon, and don't forget to stay tuned for the next one, where I'll be discussing how can you leave intermittent fasting gradually while you're on a keto diet. How do you exit out of intermittent fasting, where we'll be discussing a 9-week intermittent fasting plan. So stay tuned. This is Rahul Kamra signing off.